your prime. You get your life snuffed out and you're leaving behind young children. All right. And significant others, parents even, who are grieving over your loss. And you are now at a place where you can't reconcile that your life is gone. All you know is that pain of that longing, of that wanting for your loved ones. And you're trying to reach out to them and they can't see you, they can't hear you, or that you just can't find them, period. So you roam. You roam this plane looking for your children, your family, your partner, your parents, whatever the case may be. Okay? What the fuck is low vibrational about that? That's real fucking pain. Okay? If you are a parent and someone ripped your child away from you or killed your child, okay? And too many parents have to experience this today. How would you feel? Oh, how do we get off calling that person low vibrational? Because that's a spirit looking for their parents. Okay? That's real, actual pain. That's love. You understand me? A spirit looking for homecoming, a spirit looking for their family, their loved ones, the place where they had peace and comfort. Ain't nothing low vibrational about that shit. That's just real trauma and pain. So what are we going to do about it? Okay, what do we do? Put them in a trap, put them in a box, put them in a bottle and imprison them so they can stay living in the spiritual hell for all eternity? Does that sound? That's not us, y'all. That's some Urugu shit, I'm telling you. The whole disposition towards spirits, we've been indoctrinated so heavy and so hard against spirits. And to perpetuate a colonized concept of the dead is just wrong. Okay? It's wrong. We got to get our minds right and look at this the African way. Okay? Looking at the way our ancestors did, which is in direct opposition to the colonialist mind or way of doing things. They fear the dead. They run from the dead. There's no ceremony. There's no fellowship. You have a funeral. That's the fuck it. Okay? Gone, forgotten, period. That's not the African way of doing things. Okay? Our dead are never really dead. They live through us. Okay, they're just as real as anything I can touch and taste. They're never gone. Their energy stays with us. And we honor them even though we can't readily see them and engage them like the living. Okay, the basis of this is an animist way of doing things. Indigenous Africans were animists. Okay, they saw spirit in things and people even. All right. So it comes from anima. All right. That means to be animated, to be alive to a certain degree. So instead of running from our people, we need to be running toward our people, right? What would I look like imprisoning a spirit that's just trying to find its way to its people? Now, here's the burden of people with good, strong spiritual antennae. Back to this notion of having an ancestral altar being a portal for low vibrational spirits. Let me tell you something. I didn't start honoring my ancestors with an ancestral space until I was, 19? Do you think I saw things prior to that? Yes, I did. Did I have experiences with phenomena, spooks and spirits and haints and all like that? Yes, I have. Okay. I dealt with a spirit when I was 19 years old. Didn't have no ancestral altar at the time. Okay. This was before I actually made the thing. But I'm dealing with the spirit of a person that committed suicide in the apartment that I had been living in. They killed themselves right there. And the room next to where I had my bedroom is where they took their life. And that apartment was haunting me. The spirit was haunting me. Okay. And it got to the point where I wasn't sleeping. I was afraid to go to sleep because I was afraid the thing was going to come get me during my sleep. So I stayed up and had to observe certain things that were very freaking scary to me at that time. So I had to take it to my mother. And she told me exactly what to do. And basically, without going into a lot of the details, it was to be a shepherd, to lead this spirit to a place of peace, because they were being tormented, earthbound, tethered, whatever you want to call it. They're reliving the pain that caused them to take their own lives over and over and over in a loop. Okay? And I was tasked. I saw them. I was being haunted by them. My roommate wasn't. Why? Because he didn't have the antenna. Okay? So it was up to me to be able to navigate that space, to allow them to go on through and to join the spirits over in the spiritual realm. Okay? Now, I know if you are of a specific religious persuasion, or you do another type of spiritual diaspora tradition, you might disagree with what I just said, and that's fine. Okay? Everybody's got their own way of doing things. This is my way. This was my mother's way. And it worked, because we got peace after that. The spirit had peace. I had peace. I could sleep soundly at night. I wasn't afraid to be in my apartment alone anymore. I wasn't jumping into bed with my roommate and his boyfriend anymore. It was all good. Nothing left to feel worried about. It was like a dark cloud had been lifted out of our apartment. The energy changed dramatically. Okay? It had nothing to do with creating a portal. I'm the portal. I was born that way. Anybody that sees spirits as children and carries that gift with them into adulthood, you're by default a goddamn portal. So this nonsense about creating portals for demons and low energy, low vibrational spirits, if you make it yourself, that's hogwash. If you attract that kind of stuff, that means you have that strong antenna. That means you are basically a conjurer in the making. That means basically you have the gift of sight. That means you can see things that everybody else cannot. You can experience things that everybody else cannot. Everybody don't have the same gifts, y'all. You understand me? There is a difference, and we have to be very, very careful at listening to people outside of root culture, because other people, like I said, in other traditions, especially throughout the diaspora, they have their own way of doing things. A large number of diaspora traditions, basically all of them, had to navigate Christianity, whether it was Catholicism or Protestantism. So they have the taint of Yurugu on them. We have to be very, very clear when we are dealing with traditions that are tainted with colonialist thinking. Okay? Because it's 2019. We should not, in this day and age, with access to so much information, be perpetuating Yurugu tainted Black spirituality or Yurugu tainted African spirituality. Okay? Now, is everybody who has the gift of dealing with spirits, the making of a conjurer, are they also good at divination? No. Some are, yes, but no, not all. So if you're the type of person that can see spirits, that has spirits drawn to them because your antenna is just that strong, but you aren't a good diviner, or you choose not to divine, for that might be the case with you, make sure you have access to one. Okay? Make sure that you have in your network somebody that is very skilled and very knowledgeable about the spirit realm, and they are able to make certain connections and communications for you so you understand what you're dealing with. Because the earthbound spirit tends to have something going on that needs to be reconciled. No, they ain't just trying to haunt you for no reason because they get a kick out of scaring your ass. No. They're there for a reason. They need you to be a mouthpiece for them. They need you to help them fulfill a certain task that they weren't able to do because their life got cut out when they were in the midst of trying to do it. They may have some information for a loved one that they need to get to that's very important, that could change their goddamn life. You never freaking know unless you get to the reader that can get that information for you. So to just take that spirit and lock it up and put it in the goddamn prison, you're blocking somebody's blessings, baby. Oh, yes, potentially. Okay? It's not your job to do that. When it comes to spirits that are tasked to come after you, that's a whole different ball game. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Anything you send to me, I'm keeping. I'm keeping. I've done it and will continue to do it. Okay? A few years ago, somebody called themselves trying to tag my ass with something. They sent something to me because they didn't like something I said, which is a misuse of the work, if you ask me. Okay? People getting their panties in a bunch over something somebody fucking said, and you want to throw juju behind that and send some nasty ass spirit after them for that shit just because you can't deal with your own motherfucking emotions like a grown ass adult. So they decided they was going to send something to me to show me, to teach me a lesson, Well, they sent something. I identified it. I bound it for a moment and asked them, why are you here? I found out why they were here. And I figured, well, since you made it, bitch, you're staying with me because I got something for you to do. What you like to eat? Now you're nice and fed. Now it's time to get to work. Oh, I want some more. I got a job for you, honey. You do this job, we might can work something out. You might get some more of that good stuff I gave you the first time. But you got to do something for me. Everything in this house has a goddamn job. Okay? Everybody, every living thing in this house has a job. I'll be damned if some spirit come over here and they're going to sit up here trying to eat off my ancestors' plate and then sit back with their damn feet up. They just going to kick back and wait for the next offering? No, not in my house. So anybody sending anything to me, just be warned, you ain't getting it back. But if you do get something bad, it's not going to be what you sent. It's going to be very different. You won't recognize it. Okay? So let's make that very fucking clear. All right? Everybody is not experienced with these kinds of things. Everybody doesn't have the disposition to even work with these kinds of things. And if you are facing something like this, you need help. Okay? You need people in your corner who can do it for you. All right? So getting back to this whole self-centered, well, I'm not going to honor this person because they was this, and that, and the third. Even the people that we know who are crooks, liars, and thieves and murderers, they have a job. It just depends on what your agenda is. All those individuals have a job over here. It might not for you. You might not be a fighter. You might not be a soldier. You might not be a defender. You might not be a protector. Okay? And where I sit, the community I'm a part of, we're at war. All right? We're dealing with straight up evil. And a lot of folks are under this misconception that you can just sage evil away. No, the fuck you can't. Oh, you can just love and light evil away. No, the fuck you can't. Evil does not operate on the spectrum of human emotions such as love and hate. Evil has to be dealt with in the way that evil knows how. Okay? So sometimes, yeah, you got to work the shadows to get an effective result. Because if you're dealing with spirits that stay in the shadow, okay, light ain't nothing for them. Light will slow them the fuck down, but it's not going to kill them. You understand me? It'll slow them down. And some people are okay with the slowing down, and that's fine. Keep up the good work. Because if you slow them down, I can go in the shadows and snuff them out. Okay? So it's all good. Everybody don't have to do the same thing. Everybody's approaches to spirits don't have to be the same way. And everybody's approach to spirits shouldn't even be the same way. Okay? We have to be careful. Because like I said, people lie. And I am not talking about the people who are legit suffering or have suffered at the hands on bloodline parents, grandparents, great grandparents. I'm not talking about those individuals right now. Okay? And if the abuse came in the form of an uncle, family friend, brother, sister, auntie, whatever the case may be, they don't even need to be on your family ancestral altar in that way in the first place.